Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is time for the afternoon show live with you guys here on the preparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. If you're watching us Monday through Friday, not the Sunday Night Live show, but Monday through Friday, you are not live. You're catching us pre-recorded, kind of like a Kamala Harris interview. That's not live. It's pre-recorded, except I'm doing this live and there's going to be no editing on what I say. Anyways, folks, listen, we've got some serious trouble out here. We are in an SHTF emergency up to our neck. The next move could become full-blown, nasty, violent, and out in the open. The Democrats are pushing for it. They're panicking right now, absolutely panicking. They want to arrest Trump, period. They would arrest him before the election if they can, and they will get away with it. If they can and get away with it, they will do it. They want to arrest him after the election. They need to stop the momentum. The Trump train is just steaming down the tracks, picking up all kinds of voting blocks that wouldn't vote for him in the past. And I blame Kamala. I really do. She is the liar and panderer in chief in my book. Kamala's deceived black supporters in Detroit today. You know what she claimed? She claimed she was coming from Oakland when she started college. She went to high school and graduated in Quebec, Canada. Is she now like knucklehead Tim Walz, Tampon Timmy? Is she just a knucklehead, or is she lying intentionally? Right? She's lying intentionally. She can't even answer in an interview why anyone needs to vote for her. She's that retarded. Imagine someone giving you a softball question. So tell me, Martha or Fred, you're in my office. I'm the boss. Why should I give you a raise? Because that's what she's asking for. She's asking for being elected to the presidency from the near appointment of the vice presidency. Right? It's not like she was the number 2 candidate for the Democrats in 2020. She was in last fucking place. And they put her there as a diversity, equity, and inclusion hire. And now she wants to be promoted. If I was asked, John, what have you done to deserve a raise? I've got a dozen different things that I could point to and name them off, right? Getting the job done early, getting the job done under budget, taking care of change orders, making sure everyone understands the rules, working with the city, working with the, just write down the fucking line. I can give all kinds of reasons why I think I should get a raise, a promotion. She can't even answer that simple question. She is that retarded. But she wants to tell you, no free speech, no guns. We're going to take your money and give it to other people. We're letting in illegals. They're going to run this country. Right? She's got all kinds of plans for us. But she's got no idea why anyone should even vote for her. It is one hell of a day. It is a wacky Wednesday. I want your questions down below. Ooh, man, I know that you're here with us live, and indeed he is. Get your questions to Ooh, man. We will talk about them in the second half of the show. And do not forget a couple of items, some housekeeping. Go to X, Twitter. Go to X, find The Prepared Mind, and sign up. I need more people on X and Twitter, so we have a prepper presence on X, Twitter. We need more of that. People need to get prepared. They're out there. They're fighting for Trump. They're fighting against Kamala. They're fighting for freedom. They're fighting against communism. But I'm not seeing a whole lot about getting prepared. It's what are the Democrats promising? Violence, military violence now. Taking your kids, inviting more illegals in. They're promising everything but what we want, which is law and order, truth and justice, the American way, freedom, our rights, the American dream, etc. There is the, right? Go to X, folks. Sign up there, be a member there with us. There's no charge for that, but we need to spread the word. Get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and the preparedmind.club, CLUB. That's where you can go, click on links, and go buy what you need. All right. Anything you need. Now, there is a World War III threat that is heating up. It's not a small item. It's one of the items that, Trump took care of. Back when Trump was president, he gave Kim Jong-un, right, royal deity leader of North Korea communists. Trump gave him a call and said, look, we need to get together. We need to talk. We need to calm this shit down. And he did. Trump went and met the leader of North Korea in the, we'll just call it the neutral zone, the DMZ, right? It was neutral ground. And after that, all of Kim Jong-un's bullshit stopped. And Trump fucked with him. Mean tweets. He called him Rocket Man. Remember that shit? He made fun of him. He put him in his place. He let him know what's going on, and he backed down. Well, now North Korea, folks, is currently bombing, destroying, blowing up, demolishing roads and train rail connections that link North Korea to South Korea. Oh, there's no trade there, but these are the last vestiges of a connection between the North and the South. And they're being absolutely destroyed right now by Rocket Man, by North Korea. And Kim Jong-un, North Korea, is threatening open warfare if they have more drones fly over their border. War is imminent, folks. It's more World War III. It's imminent in the face of weak leadership in Washington, D.C. And you know who that is? It's Kamala Harris. And it is Joe Biden. And it is Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi. And that's right, Hillary Clinton. They are weak. And North Korea knows it. But Kamala Harris is the most weak of them all. And they want her to be the president. The Democrats do. She, folks, Kamala Harris is the issue. And the leadership in North Korea, the military, even Kim Jong-un, there is no respect for Kamala Harris. They know how dumb she is. They know how dangerous she is. You would think they would love her because she, too, is a Marxist, socialist, wet dream, right? She's willing to say anything she's paid to say for the Communist Party, for the Fascist Party. They're all the same people, folks. They'll put on any costume they need to, as long as it's anti-freedom. Once again, there is no left-right paradigm. Democrats left, Republicans right. No. On the left, way to the left, you've got communism, socialism, fascism. The other end of the party, our spectrum, is not. It's not communism and fascism. Communism, socialism, fascism are all socialist items. Freedom and liberty over here. That is what we have because of the Constitution. It's not a left-right paradigm between communism and fascism. The Constitution is freedom. These things over here, this socialism and fascism and communism, there's no freedom in any of them. They're all evil. It's way over here where we have individual rights, individual liberties, individual wealth, individual choice in our life. So, North Korea, why would they do what they're doing? Because they think they're going to get away with it. Because they don't respect weak leadership. If you could even dare to call that stupid bitch Kamala a leader. Now, let's continue to talk about the weakness. You know, the reason I think North Korea hates Kamala and the American Democrats and the American rhino Republicans, I think they hate them because of what they're actually doing to innocents. I think they're actually disgusted in the Democrat Party. Did you know that a survey was taken? Not over who you're going to vote for, Kamala or Trump. No. This survey was taken to see who does and who does not want transgenderism and forced on the children. Right? There's a single group that pushes it. It's incredible. I mean, can at least we here agree that indoctrinating children, drugging children, and surgically mutilating children is wrong? Well, this survey revealed that members of every race, every gender or sex, every age, every ethnicity, every income level, every region of the country, every educational status, and every political viewpoint all agree, with the exception of Democrats. They all agree that the administration of transgender chemicals and body mutilations should be banned. Except for this one group, the Democrats. They are the only ones who want this. Like I said, race, sex, age, ethnicity, education, income, region. They all say no, it's wrong. Except for Democrats. So it's not that the Hispanics want it, or that the rich people want it, or the poor people want it, or people in college, or people done with college, or no. It's just the Democrats. When I tell you, look down your street, 4 out of 10 of your neighbors are Democrats. I would imagine it won't ever be lower than 2. But 4 is a good number. 4 out of 10 people you know want children destroyed. And the country destroyed. And you destroyed. You've got to understand that is exactly what they want to do. I tell you. Kamala's having trouble with everything. We need to have Trump win. I want everyone. Get involved locally at your polling place with your Republican Party headquarters. Volunteer on election day, the day before. Go out, canvass, knock on doors, wake people up. And it's working. It's truly working. It's not just doing it in vain. It's not like you're doing it in San Francisco or Chicago or fucking Martha's Vineyard. You're not doing it in those places where there's nothing but liberal fucksticks. You're doing it in your hometown, and it's making a huge difference. Now, Kamala and Hillary and Obama, they all think the old playbook's working. Hey, let's get some mainstream media. It's failing. In fact, mainstream media is turning on Kamala. Well, let's get some Hollywood actors. All they're doing is talking about how they're going to leave the country and trying to promote themselves as being some sort of real political genius. So they've turned to what? Other Hollywood actors, lesser known figures, but willing to sell themselves nonetheless. So these Hollywood actors for Kamala come out and they try to act macho, manly in this commercial. real men like Kamala. It has failed. In fact, a lot of people go, is this a parody? It is so comically stupid. It appears to be a Babylon Bee joke, right? But the question's being asked, is this video, this real men like Kamala stuff, is it intentional sabotage? Because it's turning out to be a huge fucking mistake. Is it sabotage? Are they trying to make Kamala lose? Or all these actors and everyone in Hollywood, are they just fruitcake, skinny jeans wearing lobbyers intent on forcing everyone, meaning you and me, to accept their limp-wristed, weak, spineless version of masculinity? Are they trying to force us in the USA to accept that? Because when I saw it, I saw a bunch of flaggots. That's right, flaggots with an L. Even the ones pretending to be straight. They were pretending. Do they even realize that they're limp-wristed, that they come off that way? A big fat guy with a cowboy hat, go fuck yourself, right? Unbelievable. But believe it, it's real. As we're now less than 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I had a coworker today look at me and he goes, hey, John, 3, man, less than 3 weeks until the election. I was like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Like, I don't know that. Anyways, yeah, 3 weeks. I was like, get on it. Do something. Get on it. Do something. We don't have time to play around with this anymore. We need to get active. And folks, you guys really are. And I couldn't be more pleased with our effort. I sure hope the Republican Party, Trump, they've got their lawyers lined up and they're suing the shit out of everyone. Left-wing judges are running around trying to shoot down as many election integrity laws as they can, from hand counting ballots to requiring signatures and checking signatures. Everything that the Republicans want is to make sure that only valid votes are counted. And out of all of those valid votes, all of them are counted just once. But they want illegals to vote, dead people to vote, animals to vote, people to vote more than once. This is what Democrats want. They want to lie, cheat, and steal. They'll do anything because they're scared to death. They'll lie, and then lie some more. And don't forget that they have their rhino Republican compatriots. People like Kevin McCarthy, Mike Maggot, no longer Make America Great Again, Johnson, Speaker of the House. Oh, right now he's going on TV trying to sound intelligent, trying to look like he's a true Republican. He needs to be unseated and kicked out of the speaker's seat. We need a real America First, patriotic congressman from the Republican Party in charge of the House of Representatives. You got Mitch McConnell. Folks, he is a sack of shit. And every last one of these rhino Republicans needs to be removed at all costs. Mitch McConnell, more of his old bullshit tricks he pulled back in 2020. He's not funding Kari Lake's run for Senate. He's not even funding Ted Cruz, who has been a sitting Republican senator. Right? They're U.S. senators, and they're not getting any money out of the Republican Party because Mitch McConnell has put an end to it. These are tight races. Mitch is a closet Democrat. That's what a rhino Republican is. Period. Period. He gets a bunch of money for people in his state, so they vote for him. He is like welfare Santa. That's exactly what that bastard is. And because they get gimmies and handouts, the rest of the country, right? Kentucky's one of those states that is tax positive. And there's other states that are tax negative. In other words, they pay far more taxes from the money that goes out versus what comes back in as, well, handouts, payouts, projects, contracts, benefits. It needs to be cleaned, folks. McConnell's an old piece of shit, sellout traitor. That's my take. All of these old, tired war horses that won't stand up for America, they need to be fucking removed. Literally. Had it with them. Really had it with them. I know we're going to end up with a rhino leadership in the House and in the Senate for the Republicans when Trump wins. And he, I hope, calls them out as well. Don't be fucking nice to them any more than you're nice to Kamala or fucking Hillary. They need to be called out for what they do and fucking embarrassed in front of the country. Embarrassed. There is so much going wrong, folks. I mean, you're paying attention, right? We have watched shit go sideways and wrong our entire lives, and it's just getting worse. I mean, for example, I'll give you more examples, right? We were told, oh my God, Cerveza-bug, everyone locked down, hide. And then, oh, you can come out, but only if you get the Jim Jones juice. Well, a survey was taken. Survey says 1 in 6 Germans got side effects from the Jim Jones juice. 1 in 6. How much do you want to bet that 2 in 6 of those Germans never got it? And that 2 in 6 probably got water, saline, a fake shot. But 1 in 6, not safe, not effective. But I recommend all Democrats go immediately to a pharmacy, a hospital, a clinic, your own physician, and get 3 more doses of the Jim Jones juice quick before they run out. You need to be inoculated. You need to be safe, Democrats. Go get jacked up on the juice some more. I implore you. Literally, I implore you. Fucking idiots. Don't believe anything. I mean, they believe Kamala. They do. And also, I think those who are still pushing Joe Biden out into the public spotlight, they should all be criminally prosecuted for elder abuse. I mean, today, well, let me step away from Joe Biden for a second. I watched a video of an old lady, beyond elderly, completely incoherent, hopefully living a comfortable, pleasant experience at the end of her life, being handed a pin and being told to vote for Kamala on a ballot that was placed in front of her. She has no idea. None whatsoever. I really think there needs to be a cognitive test for people who are voting. You need to have an IQ at least above the stupid level. Anyways, back to Joe Biden. I don't know if he is truly awake and aware, but the mental midget himself spoke publicly and says Kamala beat Trump so badly in the debate, quote, he's scared to death to beat her again. So Kamala beat him so bad that he is scared to death to beat her. The man can't put together. He sounds as bad as Kamala now. Absolutely horrendous, hilarious, sad, scary. There's problems, folks. Lots of them. Lots of them. And I haven't really picked on the fruitcakes too much, so please allow me. A purple-haired diversity, equity, and inclusion training person, right? A trainer, an employee of the Oregon Department of Forestry. When I look, my family, members of my family in California were loggers. They worked in the forests, Department of Forestry. They worked in the forest as choke setters, tree fallers, etc. But a purple-haired freak is a trainer inside the Oregon Department of Forestry. Yeah, perfect. Another government job for a government bureaucrat, for a big, giant, fat pig to suck money out of the industry and out of government and live off of it. Well, she attacked, right? a guy because of his merit-based hiring. So the boss, what happens for hiring people based on their skill, experience, merits? He got suspended because he would not choose other diversity, equity, and inclusion, other colored hair idiots, other unqualified, unknowing, unintelligent government employees. Wouldn't hire him. He only chose qualified candidates. Because I guess if you're going to work for the Department of Forestry, logging, forest management, don't you think you should have people who know what the fuck they're doing? Well, hire fruits first. That's what government wants. And what happened to freedom of choice? What happened to people making decisions based on their notion of what is best? Meritocracy, do a good job, lots of experience. And if you want government to be more efficient, more productive, if there's any such thing as government efficiency and government productivity, right? The capitalist concept of meritocracy improves efficiency. Instead, the hiring question in governments and apparently in the logging industry is, are you queer enough to work for the government? That really should be the question. Are you queer enough to work for the government? Are you queer enough to be in the district attorney's office? Are you queer enough to work for the court? Are you queer enough to be a staffer in Congress? Are you queer enough? Because that's all they want, right? LGBTQ. Q stands for queer. Well, the B stands for bi. Bi means there's two. 1, 2. I thought that there's supposed to be like 100 different genders. How can there be a bi if there's actually 100? Well, there's actually 2. Unbelievable, folks. They just take everything and these fruitcakes, that's how they are. Don't expect anything better. Nope. Don't expect anything better, right? Look out for Elmer Fudd, right? Elmer Fudd, Tampon Timmy. He is out there trying to make fun of Trump. He's trying, and he's continuing to make himself look like an ass. Look, folks, pink-haired, diversity, equity, inclusion. Did I forget to mention they should be in schools? Well, in Indiana, a teacher, and the guy is also the Democrat county chair. He's a Democrat county chair, Democrat, and a teacher arrested for masturbating in front of his students. Fucking Democrats. Literally, that's what they are. These fucking people are sick. Don't you dare hire anybody because they're good. Only hire fruitcakes. And I want to end my monologue with a quote from Joe Biden to let you know what he thinks of you. He has now threatened America, free America, for spreading lies about the Biden and Kamala Harris hurricane response. He says that we will, quote, pay the price for it. What the fuck does that mean? Do you remember ever any president ever threatening the American people the way Joe Biden has? Get your questions, comments down below. I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a lot to do. As soon as I'm done here in the bunker, I'm going to go back up topside. I've got a ton of shit. I keep getting messages, stuff to do. Anyways, I don't remember ever any president of the United States threatening the people the way Joe Biden is. My patience is wearing thin. You'll pay the price for it. We're gonna come after you with F-16s and nuclear bombs. He threatens us constantly. You will pay the price for it, for spreading lies. When a Democrat says you're spreading lies, that's some funny shit. Funny shit. when you're accused by Democrats of being a liar. Good God. Okay, let's do this, folks. I want to go to the inner circle and see what you guys want to talk about. What is on your mind? Questions down below. And I'll see you in a sec. And we're back. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and your plan. Folks, who is in that 10-mile radius around your house? 4 out of 10 of them are Democrats. How many of them are violent Hamas or violent Palestinians? How many of those people in that 10-mile radius around you are Antifa or Black Lives Matter participants? How many of them are college students with no idea what the fuck they're talking about? I've been enjoying a lot of Charlie Kirk lately. Charlie Kirk out there talking nicely to college students, winning them over with honey instead of napalm. He's a very smart guy, folks. Incredibly brilliant. He's able to take their thoughts, turn them around, ask them questions. I would just rather nuke them, fuck them, right? But he's doing a great job. Everyone needs to do what they're best at and get out there and make it happen. We need to take our country back before we have to take our country back. All right, Mr. Ooman, I wonder what's on your mind. I wonder what's on everyone else's mind. And Ooman wants to talk about Fani Willis, fat ass Fani Willis in Fulton County, Georgia. The fat, nasty bitch who has lied repeatedly, who was screwing another man's wife and lying about that, lying about the complete relationship. I don't know why she's still in office after all the apparent, alleged embezzling and misuse of funds. And don't call her Fanny. She's Fawny. No, it's fat ass Fanny. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Anyways, Ooman says she's trying to have the appeals court decision to dismiss charges against Trump and the co-defendants restored. So she had her trial. Trump says, I'm taking this to the appellate level, the appeals court. The appeals court, in my opinion, was rather upset and disgusted with fat ass Fanny. And they threw her shit out. Threw it out. And she comes back and tries having all of her charges reinstated. Jack Smith, who is also a piece of shit lawyer at the federal level, and you just look at him. He looks like a giant piece of shit. I've never seen, well, I have seen lots of pieces of shit. I saw a picture of staffers and elected people in Washington, D.C. That's a lot of shit. But this guy's an extraordinary piece of shit. He is continuing to try and interfere with the election and attack Trump. He's one of these sacrificial Democrats. And there's a lot of them, folks. They will lie, cheat, and steal to win. They really don't care if they ultimately get caught and sent to jail for it. They've done their part to make communism and fascism a reality in our country. So they don't care. They are self-sacrificing. Unbelievable. Just fat ass Fanny. Unbelievable. Letitia James, all of these people, Judge Ergadon, they're gonna meet the end. Let me tell you, I don't know if this is a threat against the American people, but I think Trump did threaten everybody who will cheat and commit election fraud. Because every last one of them, he says, are going to go to jail. And I don't want just the little people down at the local level. I want state leaders in the Democrat Party. I want Republican rhinos. I want them arrested. I want the likes of Hillary and Nancy and fat ass Fanny and fat ass Letitia James. I want them all rounded up and arrested. I want these election commissioners in Georgia, in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, Atlanta, Georgia area, Fulton County. I want them all arrested. Now, he's not threatening to arrest people for having an opinion. He's wanting to arrest people for violating the law, which I believe in this case is treasonous. Stealing an election is treasonous. Trying to empower and implant an un-American, unconstitutional government permanently in charge of this country, doing that is treason. Crazy business. Mr. Uman, thank you much. And now for some chin music. He says, fat ass Fani is headed for a small cell somewhere in Georgia if Orange Man wins. Yep, she is at the top of the list. Now, of course, the Democrats are saying Trump is promising retribution. He's gonna lock up his political opponents and people he doesn't like. Well, the reason he doesn't like people is because they are trying to use the court system to steal his money, silence him, put him in jail, ruin his family, his business, his fortune, etc. And truly, Trump is, just like our founding fathers signed in the Declaration of Independence, he has committed his life, his family, and his fortune. He has committed that to his attempt to win back the White House and save America. He really knows, he understands that his family will be destroyed by the Democrats, the Democrat Party, the bureaucratic apparatus. And Fani, fat ass Fani, needs to go to jail. She needs to have a beautiful orange jumpsuit. And I'm sure Orange Man Trump, hopefully, hopefully the uniforms have Trump on them somewhere, that they have to look at it and see it. I really hope there's that hair thing, right? The Trump profile. That would be hilarious. But I think it needs to happen, folks. It's time to clear house. It's not drain the swamp. It's flush the sewer, right? DC needs some Drano. In places like, well, where fat ass Fani is in Fulton County, every George Soros district attorney needs to be removed from office or sent to jail, right? If they haven't committed any egregious crimes, just resign. You are put in charge. You were elected with the help of an anti-American terrorist, George Soros. It's time, folks. It's time. The time is coming. You know, Orange Man, he knows it's coming. Do you think there's going to be another assassination attempt? I do. I think they're going to try it again. I think that actually they're going to get some shots off. Get some shots off. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Secret Service, the SS, the Gestapo in Washington, D.C. has done everything they can to hide and obscure that at least 3 guns were fired during Trump's assassination attempt. The one where he was shot through the ear. And even the head of the FBI lied and said, oh, no, I don't think he was shot. Unbelievable. These fucking people, they need to be fired. And there should be nobody in the government. And I heard someone say that there are people in positions of power and authority in Washington who are part of the government, collect a government paycheck, but are not, they're not Congress, the Supreme Court, the President of the United States can't fire them. There ought to be nobody immune from being removed from office in the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, the CIA, IRS, etc. It's going to be that type of fight, folks. And what did the Democrats do yesterday? What did their Department of Defense under Lloyd the Loser Austin do yesterday? They have a DOD directive stating that state, federal, and even local law enforcement can call on and have the United States military assist them in law enforcement activity up to and including the use of deadly force, lethal force, you name it. That's an act of war against the people, in my opinion. Planning on using the military and authorizing deadly force. I've got no problem with using deadly force at the southern border to keep people out. I've got no problem using deadly force on enemies of our nation. You know, terrorists, communists, socialists, they all need to be taken out. But on our own people, within our own country, that's what they want. Literally, that's what they want. Are you prepared? Ooh, man, where do we want to go next? What's the next topic of discussion? It is Roy, the crypto boy. And he says Social Security announced a 2.5%, a 2.5% cost of living allowance increasement, right? 2.5% COLA for those who have retired, right? Social Security, on Social Security disability. Medicare Part D, which covers prescription drugs, the premium will triple in 2025. Triple in 2025. How do seniors prep? How do they prepare? And I think what you mean, Roy, is how do they prepare as preppers? I tell you, dude, it ain't easy, is it? I have stacks of Spam. Not stacks of Chateaubriand, not stacks of filet mignon, not stacks of ribeye steaks. I've got stacks of Spam. It's like 2 steps above cat food. That's in my pantry for SHTF. That's how I prepare. Now, I understand. I understand you paying your whole life into Social Security thinking that's your retirement. I think that we should all look at and understand Social Security as nothing more than a supplemental pay. Because when I hear people complain about it, you can't live on it. It's ridiculous. And you get a 2.5% cost of living increase when we see inflation in the last 4 years anywhere, depending on the item discussed, fuel, food, anywhere from 20% to 100% increase over the life or the span of Kamala's vice presidency. That is a lot. It's a lot of increase. And this year you get a whole whopping 2.5. It should be 25% to keep up with the cost of living. Cost of living allowance, 2.5. Cost of living increase, 25%, 10%, 50%. Doesn't matter what the percentage is. If the COLA increase is only 2.5, plus, right, Medicare Part D, where you get to pay for your own medical care after a certain age. Hey, you're going to triple the premiums. I don't like this Medicare Part D bullshit. You have to pay your whole fucking life, and then when you're retired, you are forced to have Medicare. They can fuck off. I'm 54. They've got a few years to figure out how to knock this shit off, because I'm not going to pay for fucking insurance when I'm retired. Done. Fucking done. I'm done with this. You have to pay for everything. Social Security should not be taxed. Democrats tax it. They tax everything. Even when you're dead, they tax you. Unfucking believable. How do seniors prep? Start with voting. Get your guns out and get ready for what happens after the 2024 election, because Democrats are going to get violent. Democrats have been violent all 2024. Democrats have been violent all 2023, 22, 21, 20. Oh, hell yeah, in 2020, right? Who's out there committing acts of violence? Democrats. Mass murder? Democrats. Arson? That would be the Democrats. Attacking police, burning police cars, burning businesses, destroying businesses, looting businesses. Democrats, 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 Democrats. How should seniors prepare? Save all the money you can. And I know you can't save money. So how about if we buy goods that are not cheap today, but in a few weeks, the prices will be even higher. Thank you very much, Kamala Harris. It's tough. I know people on Social Security, folks. They want to go out and get a job, but if they get a job, they'll lose their Social Security. Thank you, Obama, you motherfucker. Biden, Kamala, a lot of them are scum. Absolute scum. All right, thank you. I'm getting pissed off here, Mr. Uman, when I think about retirees that have to pay property tax. Didn't they paid off the fucking property? You still have to pay the government to live in your property after you paid off that tax? Wow. There's no end to it. Insurance for this, insurance for that, tax for this, tax for that. Fuck these people, in the words of Chin Music. All right, Mr. Uman, what do we want to discuss next? He says, and it is Chin Music, if it's evil or detrimental to a sane society, that is a society that's in its mind, in its right mind, if it's evil or detrimental to a sane society, you can bet the Democrats are for it. Well, let's test Chin Music and see if he is an intellectual troglodyte or wise beyond his years. Let's see. If it's evil or detrimental. Gays in the military. Trannies in the military. Weakening our military is evil, and that's what the Democrats want. Let's see. Children having drag queens in school. Children having transgender fruitcake teachers in the classroom. Communist flags in the classroom. Pride flags in the classroom. That's right, Democrats. Let's see. The United States government, the federal government says parents, that is, those people who have children, are domestic terrorists. Veterans, people who have served in the military, served this country under the direction of government. They say you are a domestic terrorist or potential domestic terrorist. Hunters, sportsmen, people who want free speech, evil. They say we're evil. But who is calling these good people, these good Americans, bad? The Democrats. All right, Chin, you've been cleared, dude. You are not crazy. You're not evil. You're not dumb. You're not an intellectual troglodyte. You are wise beyond your years. I agree with you 100%, man. If it's detrimental to society or children, the military, or the country in any form or fashion, it's evil, and the Democrats are responsible. Open border Democrats. You just can't name enough. You can't name enough. Thanks a lot, amigo. I really appreciate it. Mr. Uman, what else have we got out there? Who's got something to say? And Uman, he's got an opinion today, folks. Uman has an opinion today. And what does he say? The FBI, folks. You know, I used to respect the Federal Bureau of Investigation before I learned who they are and what they do and who they're composed of. Lawyers with limp wrists. That's the FBI. The FBI quietly updated the crime statistics for the year 2022. Interesting. The statistics have been corrected and are quite a bit higher, just like and Uman's pointing out, just like the adjusted employment numbers took a dive lower. These crime statistics, apparently there's a lot more crime in this country than what the FBI said for 2022. So Uman says, no wonder they didn't advertise the revision. Just trust the government. They won't lie to you 10 times in a row. That's right. During the Kamala Harris vice presidential administration, she gets all the credit, folks. She gets all the credit. crime went up in this country. Violent crime, nonviolent crime, blue-collar crime, white-collar crime, crime. Thanks, Kamala. Thank you, Christopher Wray and Ruby Rod Rosenstein and the rest of the FBI jackasses like Peter fucking Strzok. What a bunch of pieces of shit. All right, man, I'm feeling good about it, man. Feeling good. Wow. Just unbelievable. In fact, speaking of unbelievable, oncologists, cancer doctors are now out there saying and speaking their truths. They're being allowed to. The medical establishment is having to accept that not only is horse paste, ivermectin, horse paste, antiparasitic, they're now using them to treat cancer. Did you know that? One particular report said they are more effective at treating cancer than chemotherapy. There were doctors around decades and decades and decades ago, I think even at the beginning of last century, that said cancer is not caused by the body mutating on itself. It's caused by disease from parasites. Right? Parasites poison the body from the inside, ruin the body, and bodies become cancerous as a result. So an antiparasitic, and there's several of them, and ivermectin is at the top. Ivermectin is at the top. So it does a lot more than just kill cerveza bug, doesn't it? It does a lot more than kill cerveza bug. But they said that stuff will kill you. Right? That ivermectin horse paste will kill you. No, it's been proven safe in humans, and it has now been proven effective for cancer treatment. That's right. Even the government, even the doctors' associations, all are having to admit it now. So I think that I should be taking my horse paste not only as a prophylactic against getting some deadly cold, but also as an anti-cancer preventative. Makes sense to me. I'm not a doctor, but I can read medical reports. I can read this stuff and see that, yeah, it's not bad for me. Just crazy. Some crazy shit, folks. And you want to get pissed off? You want to get really, really pissed off? There's a report of a man in North Carolina. He's been massively affected by the hurricane damage. Decided to use his business, right, his warehouse, as a staging area for collecting supplies for relief efforts. Well, FEMA has taken control of it and then evicted him from his own fucking property. How does that make a lick of fucking sense? How does it make a lick of sense? And the federal government doesn't have money for anyone. Not a fucking cent for anyone. No, I take that back. No, not a cent. They'll loan you $750, America, but there's no money to help that they can just hand out. Grant people, if you will. But guess what the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris White House has done? They have just announced to give, forever and ever, give $425 million to Ukraine. That's right. Nearly another $500 million is being given by Kamala and the White House to Ukraine. Meanwhile, there's not a fucking penny for people in America, and the one bureaucracy that's supposed to help them, FEMA, is there confiscating supplies, taking over personal property, and refusing to fucking help people to the degree they need to be helped No money for you. Unbelievable. And they are the cult of death. No doubts. No doubts. They are the cult of death. All right, Mr. Uman, who's up next? What do we want to talk about? I got kind of sidetracked there. And it is none other than Chin Music. And he says, Tampon Boy, meaning Twinkle Toes Timmy Walz. That bug-eyed sack of shit. And yes, he is both of those things. He actually had the nerve to call out Senator J.D. Vance, vice presidential nominee for Trump. Timmy abandoned his unit, his military unit, and can't even load a shotgun. And he's calling out a Marine. J.D. Vance is a Marine. If we go with the once a Marine, always a Marine. He wants to criticize J.D. Vance. He wants to fuck with J.D. Vance. Right? Light in the loafers, dancing and prancing Timmy Walz. On Twitter X, a video has surfaced showing a fat, bug-eyed sack of shit who looks exactly like Tampon Timmy, wearing a leather pair of shorts and a leather halter top. Looks like a bra, black leather, or who knows what it's made out of. Dancing. In other words, acting and dancing like a drag queen. Perfectly fits the dancing, skipping, and prancing fruitcake on the trail. But he wants to call out and criticize J.D. Vance. Unbelievable. Had a discussion with a Marine today about Stolen Valor and Tim Walz. Stolen Valor and Tim Walz. Typical beta, says Chin Music. Starts shit he can't finish. You know, I want to bring back duels and honor, being able to defend your honor. I also want to bring back trial by combat, because problems need to be erased. They really do. Problems need to be erased. Okay, Mr. Uman, what do we got left? Shoot, just over 2 minutes left. What do we want to do? And Uman says, on the heels of Google and Microsoft, Amazon announced today that it signed 3 agreements for nuclear power projects for its operations. Folks, right now there is a nuclear renaissance in America and around the world. There is a shortage of uranium, and there is a long-term process to turn yellow cake that's mined into nuclear fuel pellets. And Russia is a supplier, a major supplier for the whole world and America. And what has the government been doing for several years? Fucking with Russia and pissing off Putin. Meanwhile, the world has said, you know what? Come to think of it, nuclear is the safest energy out there, and they have these fail-safe, perfect reactors to supply 24/7 base load power to supply everyone. You don't have to have a battery that's the size of the Pentagon to power a small city, because you have wind and solar. In fact, solar in Florida took an ass beating during these hurricanes, because these hurricanes also had tornadoes. And they ripped through all of the solar farms in Florida, the same way that the solar farms in Texas were battered with hailstorms and destroyed. And in Texas, they had their wind turbines iced over, frozen, and worthless. Yeah, folks, looks like we're going to go nuclear. Hopefully it just stays in the power industry and not exposed in the world of war. But yeah, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, big tech companies, folks, they're pushing for nuclear. And I think a lot of this is just my opinion. A lot of this is finally happening because it appears Trump is going to win. The Harris and Biden administration has had 4 years to figure out the energy problem. Let me tell you what they think of you and me. right? They were given billions and billions and billions of dollars to put charging stations across the country for charging electric cars, and they did a piss poor job of it. Knowing that we're having energy shortages, rolling blackouts, right? How many, what have they done to fix it? All the Biden-Harris administration done is destroy energy production. We're going to need oil. We're going to need natural gas. We're going to need coal for decades to come, because nuclear power plants, they take anywhere from a couple of years to a couple of decades in some cases to get built. But they've got it figured out now. China is building, folks, I think over 60 nuclear power plants right now. Germany, which shut down every single last one of their nuclear power plants, is firing them back up. Just signed an agreement today with France. Crazy business, folks. Is the world ready to be civilized and decent, or does the world want to cause people to suffer and destroy children and have war and discomfort? There's two ways to vote, right? Vote Trump, vote prosperity, save America, save our Constitution, save our republic, or vote for democracy, which means Kamala does whatever the fuck she wants and they steal your kids and destroy your country. I know what I'm doing. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. I'm getting prepared. Is yours. Because I know the Democrats will not. They'll not give up their power easily. Godspeed, Semper Fi.